Oh, all right. I'm live, apparently. There we go. Okay. Happy Tuesday. I meant to stream yesterday, but things kind of got away from me, so I didn't. But here I am. I'm an Affinity publisher. Everything's gonna look like a mess for a bit because I'm taking my one pager, I guess double-sided one pager. I'm not sure what you would really call it, and I'm turning into a larger doc that I can flesh out. I'm gonna be bring in some stuff that I wrote for the online help stuff because I now have some um, online docs where I kind of flesh things out a bit more. This is the stuff that's kind of, frankly, it's a bit of a drudgery, but you have to do it. I mean, either you do it or you have to pay somebody to do it, and I can't afford to pay anybody to do it, so I am doing it. What's going on here? Why are you at the top? Are you not at the top? There are things. Oh, I got the. Yeah, I have the baseline grid. Start position. Whoops, how does this work? Let's try that. So the baseline grid, I turn this on. It just basically lines all your stuff with the bottom of the grid. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the baseline grid. It's kind of good. I do like that what it does for you is when I'm laying out text in different columns, like here, they will line up. Well, actually, I guess if they get small, your baseline grids get small enough, they won't line up anymore. And maybe this is the case where they won't. I'm not sure. I need to probably read up on it. But I have all my styles are set with the baseline grid. So I'm going to keep it for now. And if it becomes too annoying to continue going, because what can happen is when you're trying to sort of place something, like I find with these borders, trying to line them up with the grid makes things pretty annoying to me. Maybe there's some tricks. I know you can turn it on and off for different things. You don't have to have everything on the baseline grid, but I've got it here, so I'm going to just keep it there for now. I guess before I close this up, I did make this flow chart. I'm kind of torn on the flow chart. I enjoyed doing it. It was a good exercise. I am wondering, or I will wonder, if I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be. Because really, I think oftentimes with the text, and maybe everybody feels this way about their own system. I definitely feel that way about mine, is that it's really simple. It's really simple. You just got to get this one thing. And then you put out this flow chart, something like this, and it feels like, oh God, what am I getting into? But it really is, it's really not complicated. I mean, the one thing I can say is that, people have gotten up to speed with it very quickly. This really goes through kind of a step by step, kind of laboriously. Maybe I should have condensed things, but the referee describes situation. Do you have enough information? If you don't, ask the referee questions. Coming back here, right? Okay, you do. Okay, great. Decide what you're going to do. Then is it a challenge? Meaning you're going to have to roll dice. If you don't have to roll dice, great. Your character does the thing and you just come back here, right? If it does, find out the risks and everything. And hey, do you still want to do it? Which I think is an important thing to ask, right? Sometimes I think in discussing things, we kind of glaze over. Not glaze is not the word. We'll sort of we'll kind of pass across this idea of, hey, you're discussing the situation or the consequences of your action. You don't have to do it. If you haven't rolled dice yet, nothing's happened yet. So you don't have to do it. So you have a chance. So I basically give you that, hey, did you talk it over and you go, ooh, I don't want to do that. All right, then you come back here. Then if you do say, yes, I'm going to go through with it, then you come to this part, which is really I guess we're going to say the most complex part, but each one of these steps is really simple, happens really quickly. You put your dice pool together, you start with whatever your level is in dice. So your first level, 1 die, third level, 3 dice, yada, yada, yada. Hey, do you have an edge, which is that thing from it's basically would be your attribute. In the really simplified classes right now, each of the callings, I call them callings, the classes, which I call callings, has basically an attribute that they're tied to. So warriors are tied to strength. So are you using your strength? If you are, add a die to your dice pool. If you're not, you don't. And then you go on to the next one. Hey, do you have any tools? If you do, add one to your dice pool. If you don't, pass on. Hey, any of my allies, you want to use your actions to help me in some way? If they say yes and they do something, then add dice for each one of those. If not, then is there any kind of environmental thing you can use? Yep, great. Add those in. If not, roll your dice. So even though it takes a lot of steps, and in the flow chart, it makes it feel like you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. The questions are really easily asked and answers, and each one of them is either just like a quick like no or no, I don't, or to me it's the kind of the fun where you get like, ooh, I can do this thing. Like in a combat situation, I think I've mentioned this a couple times, especially at low levels, really all the time. If you have warriors, you kind of want to, if you can, if the situation allows you to, you'd rather help the warriors do their thing than you try to do your thing for the most part, because they just have better chances than you. And it's pretty significant. It's at the first level. It's half. I mean, it's going to always be basically, they're going to have double the chances you do per die. So giving them more dice is probably better than you rolling a bunch of dice. There's probably some case where you're super high level and they're really low level. You could do the odds and, what's the any dice or whatever, and you could figure out there's some point. But for the most part, you'd rather do that. So then you is like say, ooh, I'm a sorcerer, but I already cast my spell, or I don't want to cast my spell yet. So, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to try to do a little dance over here to kind of get their attention quickly while you stab them in the gut. Great, get a die. So those things go very fast. Then you roll your dice, check if you have the talent, which is like warriors and fighting, things like that. If you do, you get to add that bonus to your dice, which is 1 for first level players, and it goes up to. You only have to deal with it the way at these basic level at 4th and 8th levels. So it's either +1, +2, +3. So whatever level you're at, you're going to be at that. Whatever your bonus is, you're going to be there for a while. So it's especially if you're doing kind of a one shot, something with a low level, or even anything. It's like, hey, your bonus is +2, your bonus is +1, your bonus is +3. It's like, okay, you got it. Then you just count the boons, and which is how many of those 6s after adding those bonuses you got, did you succeed or not? If you did, yay! Update everything, got extra boons. You can bank them or save them, or use them for stuff. If you don't, then you got to deal with the banes. And then the referee updates the situation, and we go back to the front. So I don't know. I feel like it's pretty. I don't know. These are the things you think about. Am I making the game seem more complicated by giving this? I don't know. But I think it might almost makes a good primer. I hope for people. Say, hey, look, it's just go through, you can have some run through to say, okay, run through these things. It's almost like a little reminder card. I suppose you could even do it as a kind of a card. Just before you do an action, check for these things. Maybe I'll do that too. But I'm not going to do it right now. But I thought I just posted that live along with the link to the help files that are mostly complete and live. And I will be finished. The things I have to do. So I have to I'll just have to go through and make a run to make sure I'm not missing anything major. I don't think I'm missing anything major. If I'm missing them, it's probably minor. But I still have to do kind of the referee's side of things is missing. I don't have the monsters, the few monsters I made up, and I'll probably put some more in. I don't have that. And I don't have equipment and stuff. So those things need to get added in. But I kind of want to get the kind of more fleshed out version going. Because I feel like the one pager, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to do everything. But I don't want to say that it's the thing that I really needed it for has happened. And that's not really true. The use cases I had it for, they're still going to be there. For example, I'm going to be going to cons, and I'll have that those use cases. So they'll still be there. I guess what I mean is that for in the immediate now, I don't know that is the document that's going to help people. Anyone who's intrigued, I don't know if it's going to really help them so much. If that makes sense. Because it is so dense. When I was playing, hey Croco, when I was running the game last Thursday, and I talked to one of the guys, KR King of D&D Homebrew, he mentioned that it's dense. And now that he played it, he goes like, oh, like I get it, I get it now. And he's someone that he talks. He's another content creator. He talks stuff about games. Right? He's not somebody who is going to easily be daunted by a set of rules. But the fact that there is so much going on the page, and I am so trying to be so concise, or so the language is so kind of clipped, that I think it can be daunting. I think again, it can make things seem more complicated than they are. And I'm trying to squeeze a lot into there to give people, my idea was kind of like, here, and this one back and front and back printed letter page, like you literally have everything you need to play a game, which you kind of do. I kind of futz on a couple of things that someone could probably call me out on for not having, but I mean, I think it does that for the most part. But the price you pay is that there's a lot going on, and I have to be trying to be so concise, trying to be so counting each and every word and syllable almost of every word. It makes it tough. So here I want to kind of go through and just be more leisurely. I don't want to try to just run up. Oh, like now I'm doing it in this kind of digest form, so now I can just go wild with my purple prose. Like that's not what I want to do. But there are some cases where I really didn't feel like I could quite give everything that I wanted to, say everything, or just make some clarifications, or just using different words. So, and then I did find some things I needed to tweak when I was doing the help files, and that will find its way into this, and then will obviously find its way back to the one pager. And sometimes with the one pager, it's really hard because I have no, or really, really very little room to make changes. Oh, and this chair's got the squeaks. But such is my lot that I'm going to attempt it. So let's see. Kind of need to just add some pages, I think, after this one. And I'm not even going to worry about, the front page or anything like that. I'm just trying to get the body stuff. So I'm going to swing this. Yeah, I could put the font to 3. As if the font's not small enough already. I could do that, absolutely. But I probably won't. I actually found the font. I was kind of surprised. It's pretty readable. Because I'm pretty conscious about that, the readability part of it. And I was actually pretty happy about that. But I'm definitely going to bump up. I'm not worried about the page count so much here. I mean, I got to still keep it in check. It's going to be kind of digest, so I got to have it printed in 4s or whatever. So it's got to fit certain numbers. Obviously, if I come in, and I can't be too big for the most part. If I was going to have it printed, I forget what the different. I mean, it's not going to be hundreds of pages. But I'm definitely going to let things breathe a little bit more, whereas before I was getting kind of crazy with the type. All right, so we create our characters. And the other thing is, I'm probably going to check more clear. Like these classes I did, and I don't know, I've gotten a lot. I've gotten great feedback from the people who actually played, and pretty much no feedback anywhere else as of yet. And I think one of the things I don't want people to get scared off from is that the classes in the system as they are now are supremely basic, and that's just because they were designed so that I could take into cons and run them fast. I should probably write a post about this or do something. These are the basic classes, or the callings, as I call them, are there so that you can get up and running and get people going really quickly into the system. And I think they work really well. They are they follow the kind of classic archetypes for the most part. I take away just about as much complexity as I possibly can while still having them be usable. So I only look at their what do I call it? Their talents, which is kind of their specialty, very broadly. So for the Delver, it's just underground dungeons. For the Bounder, it's the wilderness, kind of thing, right? For the Warrior, it's fighting. So they're really basic, and the idea is that you can just get people in those characters. They'll understand if they've played any games at all, or even really just any kind of watched fantasy media thing at all. They'll get a pretty good sense of what they're good at, and you could let them loose. And you can do it in like a couple of minutes because you don't need to roll for attributes. You don't need to check for primary. You don't, whatever. Just go. Krakow asks, any modules or adventures planned? Yes. So one of the things I need to do, which I'm going to be, so that my Escape, which is the adventure I've been running with this, I'm going to make a version that is basically using, it's barely any changes. It's really because I have a cleric, or evil cleric. That's kind of one of the antagonists and I will basically sub them out, replace them with a sorcerer, or maybe I'll put in, I don't know, I think I just use a sorcerer instead of making something. Because I was saying, I could put another class in there, and who knows? But basically, I need to just change up his spells. Really, it's just a matter of, okay, now I got to put his spells in Troupe speak as opposed to the D&D spells I was using. Though it's really easy. If I want to just use D&D spells, it's really just use their level. That becomes their, and so just in case anyone ends up watching this and they're not aware, in my system, it's an ad hoc spell casting. You basically have magnitudes of spells that would be equivalent basically to the level of the spell. So in my system, you build up your spell counting stuff, and then you get the magnitude. And therefore, they are very flexible. They tend to be more expensive than your canned spells because of the way you're calculating it out. But you don't have spell points, whatever. You take strain, but you have to deal with that, which is kind of like my hit points for everything sort of thing. I just have that one currency. But basically, you can kind of cast. You pick your specialty. You can sort of cast whatever you want. But if you wanted to use, say, BX, OEO, white box, AD&E, whatever kind of spells, you could just use their spell levels as a shortcut, which is what I've been doing now when I've been running. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a level 2 spell, so he'll just roll, his dice. I mean, the thing is, you could even, if you wanted to really get real, you could just say, look, you could convert, because one of the things you can do is, so my system uses strain, which is basically like hit dice. So like in chainmail or something, you have a certain amount of hit dice that get taken away when you get hit. You're not rolling for damage. You don't have a large sum of damage, like of hit points, like 12. You have 2 hit dice, and someone gets 2 hits, they take off 2 hit dice. But you could roll hit points damage if you wanted to, and then just divide it by 4 or something, which would basically be the average of a 6-sided die. So you say, okay, if I rolled 12 and I divided that by 4, I would get whatever. Or or maybe 6 would be maybe when you want to roll. So 12 divided by 6, that ends up with 2. You could do some different things if you wanted to do it that way. I guess you probably want 6. So the conversion stuff is actually quite easy. And playing the game, I have not really had to worry about it at all, because I'm using very abbreviated stat blocks in the module anyway. So something like zombie types, it's 2 hit dice, whatever. So okay, great, I just use their 2 hit dice. That's all I need, basically. And for a few things that have special abilities, it's very easy too. So there's some scorpions that just paralyze you. So in that case, that one, because I'd kind of, and I haven't, and that's one of the things I didn't get to write up, is how I deal with saving throws. How I've been dealing it with, I just let the player choose. Hey, you can either take damage or you can take the effect. Which one? So for these centipedes, I'm like, you can either take a strain or you can be paralyzed. You make the choice. So that again doesn't really need to change too much. Obviously, if you have poisons that kill you, if I had a poisonous spider, I'm trying to shy away from those because I just find that they're not as interesting as the other choices. So I would probably have. And when I do the kind of more like coming up with more bestiaries, I'll try to come up with some more interesting things to do with some of those poisons that just kill you, so that they do something else instead. Cargo says conversion effort shouldn't be that high if someone wants to use old stuff. No, it's if you have hit dice, you're 99% of the way there. It really is pretty. I mean, in some way, it's just like if you didn't use the alternate combat system in OD&D, you used the chainmail instead, and just went with the troop combat. That's pretty close. I think mine's a little bit easier because I streamlined some things, but it's pretty close to being it. So you're just rolling hit dice versus hit dice, and you go. So pretty darn easy. Do itch here. So let me see. I want these headers to be bigger. I'm going to be doing some. I don't need them to be as super small as they are. I got body 1. I don't need body 1. All right, so we got the No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted header 1. You're header 1. No, you're not header 1. You're header 2. All right, header 1 is good, but it might be too big. So header 1 is 20. I think that's probably fine. Yeah, so you also say your header. So what's header 2? Oh, I see. You're also header 1. I must have shrunk all these down. All right, so this is going to make things go crazy for the moment, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to say, change the style to say that it should start at the top of a column, which is where? Under paragraph, right? Or is it somewhere else? Spacing, letting, use space before, so okay. Forward thing is flow options. Start. Next column. There we go. Okay, so now it's gonna cause us some issues. Actually, it didn't do bad. Facing challenges, suffering strain. Yeah, because you are also. I'll have to add some more pages. It's fine. Deal with you now. And some of these I know I'll have to break up the paragraphs because I don't think, because right now I'm just pulling everything in order as they are in the document, and that's not going to work because I don't know where I'll put the gear, but I probably don't want it there. Is there still more? Is that it? That might be it. All right. Character. Yeah, so initial words, so the body style is 10. Change it to 12. And I got this. I use this a lot, so I gotta fix that out yet. How does that look? Oh yeah, strong underlined. Yeah. Okay. And I could kind of walk through this a little bit. I don't know. I talked about this in a bunch of different places, so I don't know. I should probably put a note in here about these are basic classes. Like, hey, these are basic classes. You can use more complicated ones. I don't know. Like, I'll probably have, I'll bookletize. I'll make some pamphlets for big things, but like I said, my purpose with these was to create a very easy set. A very easy set that you, like I said, get up to speed quickly on. All right, these basic callings. Oh yeah, I should probably put are designed for quick play. I'll have to say more, but I just want to say it. I'll just say that for right now. Okay. What's something blooped me? What blooped me? I'll tell you what, it is HOT in New York City today. Again. Again. Okay. As long as these colors are coming it's fine for quick play. Yeah. I don't even, and I want to put, I don't like that speak of like, check, like, check out this other book for this thing. So I'm not sure how to write that. So Croco says some base templates are nice, so one gets an idea of how to expand stuff later, sets up the expectation of the game, so to say. Yeah, though, I mean, these are really basic for that. They might even be too basic for that particular case because I do have stuff written for things that have more attributes and things that have the classic attributes of some quirks. I do like attributes. I am not anti-attribute. I actually like them. But at the same time, I just think that let's see, what am I trying to say? Okay, so I like attributes. So I will have something with attributes. So I'm going to change them up, and I've changed them up even in these. But what I found is playing some games. Some games are really good. Some games are like, these are really easy. But then you just get, I remember playing, forget what I was playing. And it was a one shot. It was at a con. And we were just going, and we're like, oh, we'll create characters. It's quick. And then it's like, it's not that quick because we're doing a bunch of stuff. And stuff that, especially for a one shot, doesn't really matter ultimately. You get in that, like, what does it matter? So you're going to roll 3d6 down the line 6 times. Okay, that doesn't take very long, right? Okay. But then it's like, what did you roll? Do you want to be the thing? Oh, okay, now if I'm going to play by the book, now of course you can start to shave down some things. Like, well, we're going to play BX and play the book, but I'm not going to worry about the adding 2 for 1. If you just want to swap things, go ahead, right? You're doing all these things like, well, I really wanted to play a fighter, but I got a strength of 8 and whatever. And it's like, okay, well, you can either go by the book and start doing the math to make your strength go up if you can. Or maybe I say, you know what, just swap scores if you want, or something else. But then there's more thinking and more, Or I could just say, you know what do you want to be? You want to be a fighter? Great. You're a fighter, you've got 14 strength. Like you could do the same thing basically in BX. I mean, it's kind of like having a pre-gen. I mean, it's really kind of what these are. These are sort of pre-gen. Maybe I should even put that there. They're basically like pre-gens because they're picking it for you. And then because I have those kits for your equipment, you just roll a die and pick, or you could even pick whatever. There's only 3. You only have 3 choices, so it's pretty fast. So all you have to do as a player show up, or as a GM say what class you want to play. Okay, great. Here's your kit, or I'll roll for your kit, or you can roll for your kit, and just write this stuff down. You are a delver. You are quick. You're great at dungeoneering type stuff, and you've got a dagger, you've got a candle, and you have a sack, and you have this keepsake, which is something that you can basically spend as kind of a little bit of a get out of jail free card sort of thing. That's it, done. Right? And that's really what they're designed for. If I was playing a campaign, if I'm saying I'm going to play a campaign using this, which I'll be doing some solo stuff with this and some other things, I will not use these versions because I think there's a little bit of depth. Right? You add a little bit of complexity, you can add, you get some more depth out of it. So that option will be there. But going back to the first reason why I really just ripped anything. I was able to, I really went to get these rules out was to use for cons and to use for one shots. And so for that, this works as well as I could hope for. Like I said, I don't think I can overstate. I think that if you can get your game up and running and get into playing more quickly, that it's just better. I just think that you've got everybody got their enthusiasm. Ooh, I'm doing something, and then you just kind of get into it. People will dilly-dally on their names or some other little thing, but you can kind of play until they come up with their name. But I just think if I can save 20 minutes, 25 minutes, however long, maybe it's only 10 minutes off of doing some other character generation, but that the players still get to kind of pick something that they want, I'll take it. I will take it. Croco says, I once played around a bit with different classes, having different roll methods for various stats. E.g., a maid needs a 16 int, 2d6 to strength, leads to rather stereotypical characters, though. Yeah, I mean that is a potential issue, right? And the other thing in this system is your attributes, which I call your edge in this case, because we're just looking at what you're good at. You get a die. So it's helpful if you have one die and you're a warrior and you're doing something strong, you get 2 dice. I mean, that's not insignificant. But as you get higher levels, it's still useful. You always want more dice, but it's not all encompassing. It's not like, oh, there's no unplayable. There's no like, oh, I can't, and there's no whatever. So yeah, all devers are going to be quick, but that tends to fade in the background as you're actually playing because it doesn't give you that much. It's not like, I don't even remember. I think in the game I ran on Thursday, the Delver really quickness probably didn't even come up, just because they weren't really running from anything. But it's not all encompassing, because I don't use it. I'm not using it for weapons. It's really good. The quickness here is literally just how fast you can move. It is not. I don't. I one of the things I've been irritated with forever is one of my personal, I don't know, quirks, bugbears, whatever. I don't like the fact that everyone always puts together sort of manual dexterity, hand-eye coordination stuff with quickness, because they're not all the same. Some guy who may be the best locksmith in the world, being able to use his fingers and do stuff or be the delicate painting, is not the fastest man in the world. They're totally different kind of things. And I hated that it was always just a thing like, oh, you're quick. Well, you must be. It's like, no. So it's just how fast you move. And yeah, sometimes if you do a bunch of stuff and you're trying to get people to, or just different characters, right? Yeah, you can get stereotypical type stuff. But like I said, in this case, I think because things are kind of limited, I don't think the warriors are going to all be like, we are all the same strong warrior, because it's not that, it doesn't do that much for them. It's a good thing to have if you're doing strength stuff. But like I said, it tends to fade in the background. Like I remember I had to actually remind the players when they're playing. I had 2 warriors and they were trying to do something that was essentially a lift thing, lifting a body out of a well. And I told them when they're both like, okay, we'll do this. And they're doing all this stuff. And hey, I look more on the one hand, I was like, great, because they're really interacting and interfacing with the system with trying to. And I'm like, hey man, you guys are both strong. You can just lift them out of the well. You don't need all this. Don't worry about it. You don't need all of it. But the nice thing is they weren't really thinking about it. I think maybe in some like 5e, they might have been looking like, I have +3 strength, and I like my thing, and like it's just like it's a die. Like, don't worry, no. And I was like, don't worry about it. You guys are strong enough. So I'm not gonna worry about it. But for campaign play, there'll definitely be another option. But I will put a note in here: pre-generated characters, in that they encapsulate the essences of fantasy. I don't know if stereotype's the right word, but all right. These basic callings are designed for quick play. They function like pre-generated characters in that they encapsulate the essences of major fantasy character archetypes. Archetypes. What I want. That's what I want. But require little work on behalf of a player to bring into the game. Croco renamed Dex to Agility. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad. I mean, Dex is fine, right? Like I said, I just my pet peeve. That's the word I was looking for. My pet peeve is I just don't like that. I don't know, coordination or some kind of hand-eye type things or fine movement stuff is equated with like you're running around, because I think it should be pretty clear when you look at people. Like look at people who might be, let's say, an expert pool player who got that kind of coordination. They're not fast runners by any means. They're not, right? Or other people who are experts at doing things, they're not. It has nothing to do with your kind of quickness of limb. So I decided, like, you know what? This is my freaking heartbreaker game nonsense. I'm not going to have that. I'm not putting up with that anymore. I'm getting rid of them. I'm not getting rid of them. I'm I'll probably need to put something in here. Actually, no. All right. Let's see. I need another. How big is my second heading? Oh, yeah. I don't want those. Yeah. That ain't going to work, pal. Okay. So I got to fix that. I don't want them. I'll make them a bit bigger. I'm going to make it all caps. But in the, where is it? Flow options? Anywhere. There we go. All right, so we're saying choose a calling. Actually, maybe I'll reduce that. That's a big. I mean, at some point I'll have to put a space there. I'll have I'll probably put the steps in brief, maybe. The basic callings included in these pages are designed for quick play. They function like pre-generated characters. They encapsulate the essences of major fantasy character archetypes. Any major fantasy, I'll just call archetypes. And I will get rid of the in that. Oops, Ray. Okay. Basic callings, including these pages, are designed for quick play. They function like pre-generated characters. They encapsulate the essences of major fantasy archetypes, but require little work on behalf of a player to bring into the game. I think that's pretty good. Basic callings are, I don't need to be so bullets. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I need to check. I need to get some more spacing. Because I squeezed the spacing down. Oops. I squeezed everything. Okay. All right. Basic calling. Okay, so there's Bounder. Delver. Sorcerer. And all right, so I'm gonna need, okay, I need another, yeah. All right, so I need to make call it sidebar heading. Or maybe heading sidebar, so we keep them grouped together. Okay, that didn't work. Heading sidebar, and I want the size to be 12, I guess. And let's see if that'll fix that. Didn't. 12 wasn't enough. Curse you. Can I go down to 10? Yes, I can. Okay. And let me just edit because we're in the sidebar. I need to change my spacing. Yeah, definitely a calling top. Maybe. All right. Damn it, that didn't go. I'll have to figure something out. Maybe I'll have to do something because I don't want to. I wonder if I just can't really have these sidebars like this. Or I might need to embed them in differently. Unknown. Because it is kind of narrow. It's tough. It's tough. Really what I want so that something like that, so that they would kind of have the full thing, but I think then stuff will go bumping up against there too far. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. That's another thing to remind myself of. Another thing. And another thing. And another thing. All right, so the basic callings are the Bounder, the Delver, the Sorcerer, and the Warrior. All right. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just take this out. I like these highlighted things, but I might just need to use them for other things. And let me put it in there. Okay. To create a character, where's my number 1? Choose a calling. Okay. 2, pick your character's virtue. 3, pick your character's vice. 4. Was there a 4? Oh yeah. Roll for your character's starting kit. I think that's it. I noticed that this guy needs some help. Where's my spacing? Okay, create a character, choose your calling, pick your character's virtue, pick your character's vice, roll for your character's starting kit. I mean, that's pretty darn easy, I think. Methinks it's about as much as they need. Trying to think about what. Yeah, we can do this. No, this is going to be body. Unless otherwise noted by your referee, your character will begin at level 1. Okay, choose a calling. So should I just, is that too wide? All right, choose a calling, right? Yeah, now I gotta put the calling stuff in here. Okay. Facing challenges, suffering, strain, gear. I don't wanna. All right. Yeah, before. So what I'm gonna do is because I need to detach. I need to detach this section for right now. And I'm gonna move this, I don't know, down here. And I'm gonna take this text box. I don't think I like it full width. I'm gonna have to mess around it, but let me just get everything out first. That's the one problem when you're doing things in layout, and I'm doing it because it's a bad habit I've picked up, and because I'm working from stuff that was already laid out, and I don't feel like undoing it to redo it again. But I really shouldn't do it. All right, choose your. Okay, so we got that part. That's nice. So then and I'll put page reference. No, I think I'll put. Well, no, I'll just put them here. But actually, create your character. Choose a calling. I don't know. I don't know quite how I want to do this. I'm just gonna do it. Pick your character's virtue. Why is that way down like that? Is there a better one? No. I don't know. I don't know if I like that because it seems like it's not really. Is that in the style of it? Or maybe it is. Never mind. Okay, pick your character's virtue. What? Doing? Okay, so what are my virtues? I've got. Let's see. Courage. Justice. Prudence. Prudence. Temperance. I wonder if I should just put them all in here or not. So I'm wondering whether, I guess right now the way I'm looking at it is to have kind of the summary here and then have kind of the chapter about callings with the things in there. But I'm wondering whether I should just have them all here. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I mean, because the I don't have that much to say about these. Like these are really basic, but I do have the kits and stuff. So maybe I'll have a chapter called Bounders or a chapter called Callings. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll do. I don't feel super strongly about it one way or another at this stage of the game. Wonder. About to type its name again. The Bounder. I don't know if I want to say expert Trained, skilled. You know, maybe I should just have each one of those as its own chat. I probably should just be okay. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. All right. Oh, I didn't put all caps. I meant all caps on that. I did not. I failed to put all caps. Where's my caps? There we go. Callings. Characters. Calling is field of expertise. Characters calling, choose expertise, the basics callings. Okay, that's fine. Characters calling is their chosen field of expertise. The basic callings included in these pages are designed for quick play. They function like pre-generated characters. They encapsulate the essences of major fantasy archetypes, but require little work on behalf of a player to bring into the game. The basic callings are the Bounder, skilled in the wilderness. It's fine. The Delver, skilled in dungeons and other, what's the word, is locations, other, what did I call it in the thing? I had a name for it. Not a name, I had a phrase. I said strange locations. The sorcerer skilled in magical arts, and the warrior skilled in battle. I think I should just add like 8 pages in here just so I have a lot. Krakow says, wonder what strange locations here are other than dungeons. Well, because a dungeon, okay, the reason why I'm saying that is you have to remember, and I have to remember, that people coming from the sphere where they've been reading all the blogs and blah, 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 might understand dungeons as being, oh, it could be anything indoors, it's a dungeon. But I don't take it for granted that everybody's going to feel that way or have that kind of that, oh, like you're in the Underdark, oh, that's just like a dungeon. Or, oh, you're in a castle, that's just like a dungeon. Like the reason why I'm giving that out is because I don't want it to be that someone says, well, you're not underground, you're up in a tower, that's not a dungeon. So I'm just being clear or trying to be somewhat leave the room open for like it doesn't have to be literally a dungeon. And I think that's why I might even take it out because in my other thing, what I put was I just put strange locations. So, all right, it could be you're in a cave system. Could be you're in something else. It's really just an interior, right? The Bounder and the Delver are kind of just one's outside, one's inside. And I suppose I could put that. You're really great outside. You're really great inside. But I'm trying to, so I put that in there. But I might take out dungeon just to put strange locations, which I have in my other one. But I'm trying to be a little bit. I just want to try to be as clear as possible. Not knowing where people are coming from, what they've played before, had they heard of the, the kind of mystic or the whatever they call it, the fantastic underground, like whatever their idea of what the word dungeon means. But I don't mean that if they're not in something that is literally called a dungeon, like you're in a castle, the Mad Mage. It's like your delving stuff still works. So that's what I'm trying to encapsulate there. And who knows whether it works or not. But that's the idea. Right. Okay. So what do I have to say about the Bounder? Not too much. Well, I know I'm not going to get into that too much. So let's see. Where's my... Oh, that's that. So this is I can look on, this is actually my local copy running, but this is my, yeah, see, I don't think I say too much about it. Oh, I do like this at a glance. So maybe I should put that in. Oops. Okay, just paste. Trying to get fancy with it. As a Bounder, you're a tough wilderness survivalist, skilled with simple and hunting weapons. You are capable of wearing up to a moderate amount of armor without impairing your abilities. I do like that at a glance part, so maybe I'll need to figure out, should I do that now? Because I thought that was kind of nice. I liked it. But tables are another kind of pain in the arse, a little bit kind of thing. No, how did I do it in here? I did it. Toughness, talent, weapons, protection. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2. And talent. I should probably just move this off screen so I can see them at the same time. Talent, weapons, protection. Maybe I'll put arms. I'll just put armor. I don't know why I did weapons and protection. Toughness. I'll put wilderness survival, I guess. Let's be concise. Arms. Simple. Hunting. Armor. Moderate. Okay, now I can... All right, so these... All right, now I need to do... Let me see something. Do I have a table header? I do. Okay, so let me remember. I always have to remember how to do this. Doing tables in Affinity. Oh, did I carry over from my other one? Because I pay. Oh yeah, I would carry in. Oh great, but that. Why didn't that work? I suppose it should be table header. This is table body. And this should be table body. Is it table body? Yes, it is. Okay. Now I need to show the text wrap settings. It's going to be jump. I don't need all that. Nope. No. Ah. 0. So 0 it out for right now. Unlink. Top. 4 point. Bottom. 4 points. Close. Now it should be, as I move this thing up, it should tick around, which it did. And how does that look? Not too shabby. I should probably add some borders and things to make it a little bit neater. As a miner, you are a rough wilderness survivalist, skilled with simple hunting weapons. You're capable of wearing up to a modern amount of armor without impacting your abilities. And then I got the starting kits. I kind of like the starting kits in. If I just open. I go down to. Actually, oops. No. Oh, when you stop. Ugh, this is going to be annoying. Let's do that way. I know I don't need certain things I don't need, and I'll get rid of it in a minute. Don't need that. We know it's the bounder. We're in the bounder. I don't think I really have too much to say about the bounder, to be honest. I almost wonder if I should move it. Well, we'll leave it there because it's just kind of. I don't have anything at the bottom of the page, but if I had some art, I could flip it in there. There we go. Another text box. Right. Exactly. Now I can go. I need. Let's see. Now what's next? The bounder and then the delver. And my delver bit. Paste this in. Paste. I grabbed too much, but that's fine. What are you doing? I didn't want it to be. Oh, I'll just type it. It's annoying. It's not all caps in my text, but here it's giving me all caps. Oh, because it's body 1? Yeah, I don't want body 1. Yeah, get rid of body 1. Why is body doing that? No? Still telling me I am? I'm not capsed here. Oh, that's really weird. What are you doing to me? There we go. Okay. Okay. I don't need the starting kits bit. You are a quick investigator of strange locations, skilled with simple weapons. You are capable of wearing up to a light amount of armor without impairing your. We're going to copy you, paste you, so we're going to bring you over. I mean, would people like it? I don't know. People like that. Like, what is your name? Ugh. Stop. Oh, is it the layers? Is it? Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Oops. Go on quickness. Talent. Engineering. Arms. Simple. Light. I probably could have a. I probably that not like it. Why is it slightly small? Okay. Oops. I probably could have 2 on this page. What I was going to say. Unless I want to do something like have. I know people like the. This is it's always I want to give the people what they want. I want to give the people what they want. One of the things I know that people like in Cairn, I guess I don't know. People like I assume people do, but I guess I don't really know. Is the names? Do people like the starting and getting like a selection of names? I always find them kind of, I don't know, in any kind of system, because they're rarely are, because they just end up being rarely the kind of name I would pick for myself, and if I end up picking them, it's usually because they're super goofy. And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna pick, I don't know, bird feather mango brain, and it's just like, ha ha ha, kind of thing. I don't pick it because I really thought, like, oh, they really captured my name. They captured the name that I would want. But maybe people like that stuff. I don't know. Do people like that stuff? Unknown. But I don't tend to. And not that I don't like it, I just don't end up using it, I guess is really the thing. Nope, that's I don't know what I was trying to do. Yeah, you're gonna go there, but I'm gonna. Yeah. You're gonna keep doing that until I. Textiles, I need. Delver. The sorcerer. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, the sorcerer is the one that's a little bit more complicated. You know what? Because of the magic element. Let's go do something here. I'm just going to grab this out. I just want to paste it in plain text and then bring it over so that this formatting nonsense that's giving me, just to get rid of it. What kind of nonsense? Get rid of this body one. Stop giving me body one. I'm not interested in body one, Admiral. All right. This we're going to copy, we're going to paste. Slide down like so. You did it again. There we go. Yeah. Learning. We got magic. And they just got the dagger and staff, I think, yep. And no armor. I call it learning. Get you with your learning. I got a little typo there. Utilize, not utilize. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, right, the starting kit bit. The starting kit bit. And let's see. Paste that in. Now do I have room? Well, I still have room on this page if I have to move things up a bit. They do have that working for me. Because I got to do the magic part, right? Which is, yeah, pick schools of magic. Yeah, pick. Ooh, I could do that as a roll also. Ho ho! I didn't even think about that. Well, these boxes are not for rolling dice, but yeah, I use the same style for the character sheet because I like it. All right, School of Magic. Do I want to do these same ones again? Yeah. Look at that. That worked pretty darn well on one page, if I do say so myself. Ooh. I'm telling you what, it is something hot in here. I have a little bit of my, I don't even call that still the Island Punch Spinner for the working man. I got some water here. Okay. I don't even know if it's a good idea linking all these things together. I go back and forth. Things that you just don't know. Okay, so then yeah. Thanks. Thanks. I definitely need that. Cool water. Water. All right. Heading to the warrior. Come out and play. Really? What is the matter with you? Thank you. Okay, warrior, what do we got? You are strong. Heck yeah, I am strong. Okay. All right, gave it to me the right way. Okay. I get the right. You are strong, a strong champion of battle, skilled with all weapons. You are capable of wearing a heavy amount of armor without impairing your abilities. Yes. Oops. No. Yes, indeedy, because he is the warriorini. Edge is strength. Talent is battle. Arms. All. Armor. Heavy. Okay, now I need one of those starting kit headers. And then I need those boxes. Boxes. The boxes. The boxes. The boxes. The boxes. The boxes. The boxes. Okay. Ooh. All right. So we got the callings, the bounder, the sorcerer, the warrior. Yep. Now, where the heck is it all that? Something happened here. There we go. I don't need you to be way down there anymore. I can drag you up. And I'll put page, I guess I'll put page references in there. I know there's some ways to automate those so that they update automatically. I'll need to try to figure that out at some point. Probably not this version. Just because, okay. Callings, Telerunner, virtues. All right. A virtue is a positive trait that a character can call upon to motivate them. In practical terms, when a character can align their action with their virtue, they can add one die to their dice pool for any challenge that arises. The virtues are courage, justice, temperance, prudence, or courage, justice, prudence, and temperance. I don't know why I always want to say them in the wrong order. So we have courage. Do I keep doing that? I thought I wanted all caps for these. Why does it keep seeming to not want to keep what I'm doing with the caps? Courage. Courage is right action in the face of difficulty or danger. It is reasoned, reasonable, and never reckless. He is reckless. Justice, truth, and justice for all. Justice is fairness and kindness, always balancing. Is always balancing self-interest with selflessness. Prudence beat produce. Prudence. Dear Prudence. Prudence is discerning good and choosing the right means to achieve it. Is always uses judgment to conduct uses. Prudence is discerning good and choosing the right means to achieve it. It always uses judgment to conduct. 2-2. Oh, another typo there. Let me fix that. Where is there it is. Yep. 2-2. Okay. Prudence is discerning good and choosing the right means to achieve it. It always uses judgment to conduct right reason in action. Right reason in action. And then finally, temperance. Oh, temperance. Okay. What the heck? What did that do? Temperance is self-control. It always moderates emotions and appetites and molds. I want to say it. There are your virtues. Yay! All right. Should I say the virtues? Sure. I'm going to make this heading 1. What? Yeah, it doesn't always supposed to start. Why is it not? Heading 1. Next column. Always next column. Here, I don't know why it seems to be doing this ridiculousness. I did this already. It's annoying to run into bugs like this that, or I'm assuming it's, well, I mean, I assume it's a bug. Maybe it is me. I don't know, but I wonder if it's because I'm pasting between documents, but usually, I don't know, it doesn't really do that. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Devices. What are the devices? Okay. Vice is a negative trait that, at the player's option, can complicate a character's circumstances. In practical terms, at the referee's discretion, when a character invokes their vice to raise the stakes, add obstacles, or otherwise make a fraught situation harder to overcome, they lose 1 die from their dice pool in any challenge that arises, but gain a doom die. There are 4 vices. And these vices are gluttony, lust, vainglory, and wrath. All right, and then we've got to be a gluttony. Gluttony is overindulgence, overcompensation. Glutton devastates the world to feed their insatiable hunger. I like that turn of phrase. Devastates the world. 2, we've got lust. Lust is unbridled craving. The lustful destroys anything in the path of their unbridled desire. Yeah. Vainglory. Renown. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, wrath. Wrath is uncontrollable rage. The wrath will destroy anything to placate their boundless anger. And you know what? I'm going to change something up here because I like the way they put that. So I'll make these match up. The temperate. The prudent. The just. The courageous. Okay. I guess it should be singular, right? Okay. All right. Bugs are program vices. That very true. Very true. All right. Okay, create your character. We got the callings, got the virtues, we got the vices. What else? In terms of the character stuff, what else was there? Oops. No, don't do that. Maybe I should just put there under and roll for their starting kit. It seems kind of silly if you just, because you can just go in order. Choose, starting kit. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to pause here. And we'll continue on. But I think this is a good start. I'm not trying to do anything super crazy with this stuff. Just want to get, now that I have basically the online version mostly done, except for equipment, which is going to be a pain because I got to convert the tables and stuff. And I kind of have I can kind of put this stuff in here, and I can have this a little bit more, I think, complete. Not complete, it's not the right word. A little bit more verbose, a little bit, hopefully making it easier for folks to understand, and then I can chuck this up and I can have it. But we'll see. It will take more work, and I will keep plugging away on it. Thanks for hanging out with me while I'm going through this. I know it's not the most interesting of activities, but it's one of those things that just needs to get done, It's those things that it's not fun, but it needs to get done. A little rhyme. Anyhow, enjoy this. Enjoy the rest of your day, night. Whenever you end up watching or listen to this, game on, everybody. And I'll talk to you later. Bye now.